So me, Chelsea, 23 years old, working full-time job, salary, I am here to tell you that you are more than your job title, okay? Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea, and on this channel, Honestly Chelsea, I pride myself on being very transparent with my audience and discussing topics relating to life after college, navigating things as a young adult, and things that we experience going through life, right? I know for me, graduating college, it was a huge wake-up call into the real world. Of course, everyone experiences things. We all go through life changes. There's also a period in your life where you start to discover yourself. You tend to develop new habits, new ways. You really just start working on yourself as an individual, right? Because you are no longer confined to college. You are your own individual. So as you can already tell by the name of the video, you are more than just a job title. You are more than a job. You are more than a degree. You are more than what pays you, right? We're going to be talking about is the idea of, not tying your self-worth to your job title. I think that's a big thing, especially with coronavirus, and recent graduates. There's some recent graduates that haven't yet landed a job and they recently graduated, and just going through that phase of like discovering yourself without having what they deem as successful, what America deems as successful, without having that degree. I know some recent graduates are kind of just like struggling with that in itself, and kind of just like tying their self-worth with whether or not they have a job, or they do. And so I think that's a big thing to talk about. I know you're probably thinking, like, what is she talking about? She has a job, like, she's fine, yada, yada, yada. Yes, I get that. But at the same time, here I am speaking to you, coming from the perspective of having a job, having the degree, having all of the things that they deem as successful, and yet wanting to still separate myself from that. Like, I just don't think that's a healthy way to think. Your job is not who you are, right? Like, don't get it confused, and you're worth more than that. America and many other nations, not just the American culture, but I will speak on the American culture because I live in America. We tend to deem our success, our values with status, and not only status, but your job. Like, what do you do for a living? With me graduating college and starting my job 2 months after, I was introduced into a new environment where a lot of the people around me were experienced in their field, or they've been working at the company for a certain amount of time. So for me, it was just like all of this is new. But a lot of the environments that I was placed in, surrounded with like networking and meeting different people, and people that were in their roles for a decent amount of time. And in those environments and in those networking events and all of the events that I've been through prior to COVID, it was always just like the very first few things that you talk about was related to your job. So it's like, oh, what do you do? Like, that's like off the jump, like off the gate. That is one of the first like introductory lines that you suggest or you say when you meet someone. And so it's like, oh, where do you work? What area do you work in? Or what do you do? And I can't tell you how many times I got that question. Like, and I get it. Like, I placed myself in those spaces of meeting new people and, wanting to connect with leadership or just wanting to connect with other young professionals, which I enjoy. But when the question is presented to me even outside of my workplace, what do you do? I struggle with really communicating that. And sometimes there is a little bit of like discomfort even when talking about it, because we're just so conditioned to thinking someone isn't going to really accept me, or they're probably not going to like me that much because I don't have it together, or because what I'm doing may not necessarily be up there in the ladder, right? Like, this is how we're conditioned to thinking, and it's just so unhealthy. So me, Chelsea, 23 years old, working full-time job, salary, I am here to tell you that you are more than your job title, okay? I got to a point where I was just so annoyed with that question because it was like, I am more than just my title. And I think for me, it was a little bit complex too because the role in which I am in is a very unique role and it's not attributed to just one skill set. It's flexible. So I am able to move around in the company and cross collaborate with different areas of the business and hone in on skills from different business areas, right? So my role in itself is very unique. I have the flexibility and the ability to move around in the company and, gain experience and exposure from those different areas. So I think I was also kind of just getting a little frustrated with having to answer those questions all the time because, for me personally, I don't necessarily have a role that is specific or focused, right? And just feeling that way then made me think about, how America just places such a high value on, your status. So it's like, okay, where are you in life, or the job that you're doing, or even the amount of money that you make. And that is just so dangerous in itself. I know, I've had conversations with friends and just other people that are either working and they're recent graduates. And it's so easy to just get like sucked into that. Like, you're placed in spaces where a lot of what you're doing when you're communicating with new people, you're networking, you're building rapport with people that you meet, but at the same time, you're getting to know people. And it's unfortunate that in these spaces, like those networking spaces where you're meeting people, that whole idea of placing so much value on status or your job title and then equating that to your self-worth, like that in itself is a dangerous thing. So I know for me personally, it's natural to just be like, oh, like what does that person do? And why can I do it, or why am I not in this position yet or in this place yet? And it's normal to have those assumptions and those ideas, but at the same time, it's not healthy to place so much value on what it is that you're doing because there's more to what you do. For me, I know that, I'm tapping into new areas now and I'm starting to figure out like these are things that I enjoy. These are things that I enjoy doing. These are things that I have interest in. I always knew that I was big on giving back. So giving back like a mentorship way. So you didn't have this when you were coming up. I would like to help you with that. So I know like for me, I didn't have like a mentor or a person to say, this is how you should do that at all. Like, I kind of just like observed people before me and, kind of just like followed through. But I honestly believe that I'm big on giving back to people that are just like me, that are in my community and teaching them, okay, this is how you can do that. This is how you can do this. So that kind of like mentorship relationship, I do enjoy, especially when it's a genuine one and it's kind of like a win-win on both ends. So that's something that I knew that I enjoyed, and that has nothing to do with my work. Can it relate to my work? Can it relate to my everyday? Yes, but not necessarily, and that is a part of who I am. It goes to show that you're more than just your job. You're more than the number that you make, and that's just what it is. So I can come up here on this platform and straight up tell you how much I make and let you know that that number has nothing to do with who I am as an individual. And so I encourage you to really just like kind of step back and do some self-reflection and identify some of the things that you enjoy doing. Because I know for sure when I graduated last year, I was just so focused and ready to just work. Like that was it. People would ask me, do I have any hobbies? And like the more and more I thought about it, I was like, I don't even have a hobby. Like I don't think I have a hobby. Yes, I enjoy social gatherings. I enjoy going out with my friends. I enjoy traveling, like typical things, but nothing that I could say, this is something that I enjoy doing like every day kind of a thing, like an everyday habit. Like I don't travel every day. So what is something that you can do every day and enjoy. I'm realizing I enjoy sharing things that I've experienced or learned throughout my journey. I enjoy sharing that with people of the like. So people that are probably in the same age bracket as me, or they probably are in school, or they're a recent graduate, right? So things that I've kind of went through along my way to where I am now, those experiences, or just even current things that I'm experiencing now as a young adult and as someone who's no longer in college, right? So I definitely enjoy kind of just sharing my experiences and things that I've learned from my perspective. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you come back for my next video. Make sure to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, share, do as you need, as you please.